Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a postcard from Spirit for February 2022. Keep in mind it's general, my friend, so take which resonates for you, disregard the rest, and go about your day. But if it does resonate, remember that it's still up to you and how you integrate this guidance, the choices you make, the steps you take in your world, and how you get whatever your fulfillment is you'd like to see. To me, this is personal freedom, it's personal power, and it's something that you have at the tips of your fingers and at the soles of your feet in your power to do, my friends. So use that power wisely. For all my subscribers, I love you, love you, love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. You guys mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my kitchen. If you'd like to sit here and watch more readings with me, I'd love to have you along the ride. Hit subscribe with me, my friends. So what I'm going to do is use the postcard from Spirit Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Now this is meant to be for all signs, anybody who's felt drawn to it. So we're just going to see what messages Spirit has to offer, and then I'm going to use the Dragon Tarot, and I'm going to use at the end the Manifestation Oracle. I got this for Christmas from my mom, and I'm pretty excited to see what messages it has in store for us for this month. So I'm just going to take a moment to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective to join us. I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the highest good of the entire collective, but for the most far-reaching. So let's get right into the cards and see what Spirit wants to give us today. Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective watching this for February 2022? And that's the only one that flipped out. We have this that came out with right away. I heard it's about balance and about the turning of the wheel, the turning of the tides, and there is divine timing at play in everything that we do in our worlds. So if I trigger you throughout this, if I make you feel a certain kind of way, use this empowered vulnerability. What did I make you feel? What was it I said that triggered you? And how can you use this information in your day-to-day going forward to create positive change? Because when we're triggered, there is an opening or a space being made visible for healing to happen. So it says, dearest you, since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built, yes? A good solid foundation and yet flexibility too, in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it's built from a solid base. Whether it be an idea that's taken form one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation dug, poured, and built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see this as true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly as long as you do a general sight check to ensure your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know you are building your life on a perfect and solid foundation that will allow you to welcome the many miracles waiting to come to visit. We're so happy for you and so intrigued by what you're building. And right away what I heard is, don't rush it. You want this built on a solid foundation, because if you're building a house and your foundation isn't solid, you're going to have a lot of problems, right? You might get cracks, you might get leaks. Hell, the whole damn thing might fall down. We don't want a structural collapse. We want to create a structure within our lives, I heard of, that we're proud of, that we're happy to be in, and something that just makes us feel more stable and grounded. Right now, for some of you, I heard you might be moving house. You may be also feeling like this is a really good time, where you're finally planting your feet in the ground, going, I'm aware of my beliefs. I know how to stand in my power now. Now watch me rise, because I've built myself from the ground up. And I do feel like many of you, that part's going to resonate, because you have built yourself from the ground up. This also goes by step in this process. Like they said, we need to dig it, pour it, and then build. If we skip one of those things, this will not be solid. So I'm going to get another message. They want me to take the bottom of the deck. And this is a bunny. For some of you, by Easter, there could be things, what I heard is your dreams coming into fruition, because we also have here, follow your dreams, love your dreams. Live your dreams. Live your dreams. But those are all important, to love your dreams, to follow your dreams. Because if you don't love something about your dream, is it really your dream, or is it someone else's dream, or is it this half thought through idea? And here's where I'm also hearing is that we don't have to have all the specifics going forward. When we get the idea to build this house, what do we need? We have to have some floor plans so that we know how big to dig, where we're going to pour our footings and all the stuff that needs to happen in that foundation, as well as how much wood, how much lumber, and an idea of how we're actually going to frame this thing up. The color, the floor, all of the different little things inside that make that house specific to you. Just a second. Oh, okay. But all that stuff that makes it specific to you, that's stuff that you can fill in after. So right now, this is really important to have a sturdy framework. It's kind of like also what I'm hearing is like an essay or something like that, you know, before we start writing, we may not know all of the things that we're going to say, but we do have a certain set of what do we want to accomplish, what are our supporting arguments here, what is what we're saying, and why is it important to us. We need to find a way to really make this convey our message. So I'm going to read this message to you. It says, "Dearest you, isn't it amazing how things seem to come around again full circle in ways you could not possibly have planned? You wonder how a dream could die only to be resurrected years later when you were really ready? You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self, whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things at a different, more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in two directions. The one that is unfamiliar and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places of infinite potential, we are waiting to guide you into your life. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, and is given new hope. Love you always." And this to me springs more too on this. You're building this solid foundation, or many of you have built it, to know that what you're working towards is built on something solid and can then, what I heard is it can stay, right? It has that staying power, and there's something about maintain. So this also with the talking about, you know, sometimes we just need to go and do those little checks. That's why there's building inspectors along the way, to make sure that everything is done up to code. Because this may also mean that in whatever you're doing, just take little steps along the way to be like, is there some tweaking I need to do? Is there something that needs to happen to make sure that this is just a little bit more stable? So for some of this could come down to financial security, is what I heard as well, is what am I doing now that is helping me build solid, stable habits? What am I doing that's not really helping me? Is there a way that is kind of taking me off my grounding? Because I heard spending, right? Are we overspending in one area? Are we not spending enough in another area and not... there's something about gratitude as well, as I heard. We want to make sure that we're feeling gratitude as well throughout this process, because everything that you're working towards, whether you're self-made or self-built, have gratitude for yourself and the strength that you have and possess, as well as the people along the way that helped supported you to do this. And if you did it on your own, pat on the back. I clap to you, because not everybody's going to be aware of how hard that is to build something from the ground up with your own two hands. For many of you, you may actually be in the construction business as well, but I do feel like the metaphor is really important to me, and I'll give you a little bit of personal information. I come from a family of builders, and I always, as a kid, Lego and everything like that, is always building houses, because that's what my family does, and it is really, really important, I feel like, just along that line as well, is that to make sure that whatever, you know, you look at yourself as the house. You want to make sure you're a solid foundation so that the things that are being housed within you, they're able to grow with love and not have, you know, the external elements creating damage as well, as what I heard. So for some of you, this is really about staying in our autonomy and about being true to ourselves, and to make sure that our energy is not being infiltrated by outside sources as well. So this, for some of you, could be, I heard, protection, asking spirit for protection. If you, depending on what you do, could be asking for protection, like performing protective spells. I was really strongly guided today to bring in my cauldron my hubby got me, and in this I usually keep a bag of smoky quartz. And what we can do right now, I'm just going to take a few moments. I would like you guys to think if there's anything that is bothering you, if there's any worries that have you, stopping you from moving forward in your ventures, if there's something that is, nagging at you and making you feel like doubting your self-worth or stopping you from taking this beautiful opportunity that is about to come, take a few minutes and, pause the video. But we're going to do a little bit of spell work, okay? Let's just do that. Let's, with our intention, imagine that you're going to give these beautiful stones your worries, okay? And I'm going to put them in the cauldron. We'll take a few deep breaths in and out and release these in here. And I'm going to leave them in the cauldron for about a week so that they can transform and transmute into something positive. That's our intention, that we're going to take this anxious energy, this worried energy, and we're going to put it in here and allow it to transform into personal power for us. So that's my intention behind this. Hopefully, if that's not for you, just skip this part, but I was very, very strongly guided to do this. So let's take in a deep breath in. Breathe out. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in, this time breathing in, connecting to your intuition, and what is it that you hear? What is it that you feel you need to release or to let go of? Take a deep breath out. And with this deep breath in, I want you to imagine love and light coming in, cleansing your energy, breathing in personal power, and on our exhale, I'm going to put these in here, okay, so they don't come into me. Imagine breathing it into this, okay, into these stones. All right, so put the lid on that. Bippity boppity boo. We're going to ask this energy to be transformed and to be healed and to be transformed into personal power. I'm going to put that over here. I also have the candle going. I think it's really important as well to pay attention to your elements as well. And Spirit's like, yeah, don't forget to smudge. So all I'm using, and this is where it doesn't have to be fancy, this is a cone incense, and it is white sage. It smells amazing. And I'm just going to ask with this smoke, we ask any energy that is inauthentic or impure to our beings, that is not of love and light, or that is not constructive to our projects, to be transmuted out through the window with love at this time. Right. So, going forward, let's see what messages we have from the Dragon Tarot. I definitely feel, again, that strong sense of protection, that you are protected to do what you're doing because you've been doing it for a long time. And there may be, I heard like naysayers, there may be haters, there may be people that, self-doubt that's getting in your way. And this is really the place where Spirit's like, you know what, we need to work on what I heard is getting over ourselves. And this message is just as much for me because, there's always this niggling in the back of my mind of maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I can't do this, maybe, and those things, all they do is stop us from chasing our dreams, right? So my personnel, that's what I asked Spirit to take and to be transformed, is that worry or that fear inside of me that I'm not good enough, because I know I am, but it's that little niggling. Anything that is just a little niggling, that's what we want to go and do. So if you didn't do it, or if you thought of something else, go back and put it in there, okay? So what you get in the reverse here is the King of Wands. I'm going to flip that over, though. In the reverse, it's like there's a block, right? There's a block to the creative process, but there's also here so much passion, and it's like, well, what is blocking your creative process? It may be whatever we're asking to release or to be transmuted, because whatever that was, it's what's getting in the way of our personal power. Spirit, can you explain to me this King of Wands? Could be Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. We also have here the Six of Swords in the reverse. I'm just going to say I'm holding this in the reverse because you have the Two of Wands at the bottom too. And this is, but then again, the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Spirit's like, oh no, take things how they come. I think there has to be a real choice to move on from old hardships as well, to move past things, again, that in the past have caused a stalemate or caused us to not go after the future that we've wanted because either we didn't think we were good enough or we couldn't make the decision. We saw it was a long road ahead. Many of us may have thought, I don't have the stamina to do this, or I ain't no builder, yo. How am I going to build a solid foundation when I've never done this in my world? There's only so many how-to things I can do. Get advice from someone that you trust. I heard get sound advice. Somebody or something, this could be a quick flash as well, some insight that you get, or some project that you decide to go after or decide to do that really transforms and changes your life and changes your mindset. And again, I keep hearing into a grateful one, because a negative mentality could be on my side too. I'm not good enough. Well, that's just stopping me from going after my goals, much like you guys. If you feel like that, then it means that whatever we're putting out some sort of energy on this that it's going to fail because we're not good enough. It's not good enough. It's second rate. My friends, you are not second rate. This is asking you to own your creative process. Again, they're bringing me back to autonomy and keeping our energy our own as well. So I'm going to get a little more clarification on that. Spirit, tell me more about this King of Wands, because, thank you. For some of you, I also heard anger issues, and it may be yours. It may not be yours. It may be along this healing process, too. There's some things, some triggers we're going to have to learn how to deal with. And when we're trying to build a solid foundation of life, if we're being triggered and being pulled to act in behaviors that aren't really authentic to us or that we're not proud of, here's a real, like you said at the beginning, this is a real call to see it and to change it. But there is the Two of Swords in the reverse with the Eight of Swords in the reverse. And I feel like this is, again, something we hold deep. We hold it deep down into our core. It could be what I heard is it could be some shit someone said to us at one point in our life that we really internalized. But it could be when you were a kid as well, right? But it could have been from an unhealed person or somebody who just has a chip on their shoulder. And I feel like this is where it's important when you're getting good sound advice not to listen to those people, not to listen to the person who would put you down and tell you not to go after your dreams because they're afraid to go after theirs, or because they see fucking potential in you and they want to squish your shine. Hopefully that part doesn't resonate, but my friends, us shiny ones, some people are a little bit jealous. And it doesn't mean that they aren't shiny, but it means that they're looking outward rather than seeing the beauty within. It happens to the best of us. And comparison is the killer of dreams. If we compare ourselves to everyone else, we're not them. And we lose our power right then and there. I feel like this is really important because whatever with this Eight of Swords that needs to be released, and it's a serious decision to create a mental balance. For some of us, we may know the things that we need to do to be on a solid foundation, even mentally, because this could come to mental stability. I know myself, and this is just me, but I'm sure many others of you can relate. If I don't get enough exercise, if I don't get enough movement, I can get a little funky. Right? I feel a little bit depressed, a little bit lethargic, and my body in general, it knows that if I work out, if I sweat, if I push myself beyond my limits, I'm going to be proud of myself. But other times, if I choose to ignore those needs I have, it starts to really, you feel it in your body. For some of you, there's a lot of different things that this could be. Again, going back with this choice, because it's a long road, well, my advice on this situation, and I'll use me, but last May, I decided I was going to get my life back in order and get on a health journey because I was at a place where I wasn't healthy and I was at the heaviest weight I'd been not pregnant, and I did not feel good. I was sick. And had I waited, okay, let's say, had I looked in May and said, no, it's too hard, I'd still be waiting And it's going to take longer. This is what I'm trying to get, is that there's something now that you feel like needs to happen, but fear is stopping you, or insecurity, self-doubt. Am I really going to be able to do this? Well, maybe not right away, but over time, right? I think that progression is important too. So if there's something like this giant goal you have, but you're putting it down because, you know what, you don't know. In the past, there might have been failures. There's something stopping you. For some of you, I heard someone could have told you you're not smart enough. I know for me, and, you know, a high school guidance counselor told me I wasn't smart enough to get into university. And I probably was exactly what I needed as the fuck you to push forward. I didn't apply to a single college, and I graduated with a double major, my friends. So I think that it's really important, again, with that sound advice, to seek sound advice. People who are going to help you build your foundation, because again, you can't build a house alone. There's only so much you can do, but try putting up the trusses. Have fun with that, right? There are so many different things along the way that you literally will need help with to build this foundation. So if you have people in your midst who maybe this reverse energy, I want to read it from the book, but who may encapsulate sort of a jealous energy or a sabotaging energy around you, take heed, pay attention. Because what is that informing you of? I heard a snake in the grass. Might have been something you didn't see. But if you're seeing it now, Spirit's saying, don't block it. Could be a person in your life you've given a lot of chances to that has walked over you, has stepped over your boundaries or your beliefs, and who's given really no shit about you. It's just all about them and what they can get. Building this foundation, they're a fucking crack. Sorry for my swearing. What are you going to do with that? Plug it up so they can't get back in. This may be something finally that's going to break years and cycles of conditioning, as well as what I heard for some of us. And it's coming back to, for some of us, this is love, and it comes back to family love that we've been conditioned. You know, blood is thicker than water, and family is important, absolutely. They are the people that we come into this world with, and hopefully they're the people that when we're leaving this world, they're the ones that are around us. But if you have someone in here who loves you, but is sabotaging your greatness or your success or your fucking peace of mind, cut them out. It's not worth it. I know I'm getting a little, there's a heatedness in here. And I think it's because for some of you guys, this has just been something that we've ignored for so long. This is why everything's in the reverse. So there could even be somebody in your world who literally, again, just watches you build your foundation. And they're jealous of the house you're building. So let me turn to the King of Wands. Turn to the King of Swords first. And that really, the King of Swords, actually, I'm going to read to you, even though it's not here. Because we have the Six of Swords really needing to move on. But again, it was in the reverse because something is stopping it. With the Eight of Swords, breaking these thought patterns and cycles and making a clear decision. Again, all of this in the reverse because we're not in a stable place. Or, again, we're holding on tightly to an old belief system. The King of Swords says in astrology the character of Saturn in its benign aspect closely resembles that of the King of Swords. He represents power, authority, and the law, splitting complex arguments with the edge of his sword. His judgments can at times seem lacking in tolerance of human frailty, but are never unfair. The card usually represents an authority figure that the querent can look to for justice, right? And this would be that sound advice. I think that in some ways you're going to have to, in most ways, you're going to have to be that authority in your world. And for some of you, this is really healing the throat chakra as well, because all this stuff, I feel like this could even be like trauma response, that we're afraid to speak up for ourselves. Because when we speak up for ourselves, we get in more trouble. Or because when we speak up for ourselves, we're going to get punished, especially if we do have a kind of narcissistic, self-serving individual. They don't want us to stand up for ourselves, nor see our worth, and nor see that we can flourish without them in this situation. So let me get back to this King of Wands in the reverse, if I can find it, because I feel like it's important, especially being that it was the first card that came out. Four of Wands. Okay, so I'm on the right suit. Okay, the King of Wands in the reverse. I'm going to hold the card up for you. The King reversed becomes severe, demanding, temperamental, intolerant, and aggressive. Prone to being prejudiced and overbearing. This card can signify the danger of a dispute with someone both powerful and unwilling to see your point of view. So again, if you are battling with someone and this is constantly what's going to happen, step yourself out of the battle. You don't need to play along, my friends. So I'm going to grab you guys one card from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle going forward on how we can move past, whatever cycle we're breaking out of and manifest the new. Manifest this stable foundation, please. And we get the last quarter moon in Pisces. Talk less, feel more. I'm going to take the bottom of the deck as well, which is Speak Your World into Being. And I love this one, so I'm going to fucking take it too, my friends, because it says, shine. Spread your sunshine. Spread those seeds of encouragement. Spread those seeds of enchantment, of knowledge, and don't allow someone else to stifle your growth or dull your shine. Shine anyways, bloom anyway. And the best thing about sunflowers is they're so hardy, right? Not only they don't just grow one, they grow up, and then where each leaf comes, eventually new flowers will grow. These are beautiful, as well as they feed the world. They can feed us, they can feed birds. It means that we're also taking part in like some sort of sacred ecosystem. So seriously, shine, because that foundation you're building, that mansion you're building, this world you're building for yourself, it's going to be of splendid nature. It's going to be beautiful, and it's something that will last for years and years and years and generations to come. So the message is here with Speak Your World into Being. This is the Gemini card as well, my friends. I'm a Gemini, so I extra like that. But I think that it's also really important here as well, because this first quarter moon in Gemini, we're figuring out what's important to us. We're creating balance, and this comes with our thoughts and our speech patterns. Mercury has gone direct. We maybe still kind of experience shadow aspects of that, so there may still be lingering misunderstandings. I could be you're dealing again with something from your past or someone from your past, and now it's time to say, you know what? Stand up for yourself. Speak your truth and fucking shine. I love Pink Floyd and Shine On You Crazy Diamond. That's Shine On You Crazy Diamond. It's no one else's business how you do life, my friends. As long as you're not hurting anyone, and as long as you're not hurting yourself, it is no one else's business. Forgot what book we were in. Alright, so let's get this. What do we pick? Talk less, feel more. Last quarter moon in Pisces. Alright, so it says the danger in your current situation is that you're going to be really good at starting things and less good at finishing them. This card suggests that you need to talk less and feel more. So rather than telling people what you want now, feel your feelings about what you want now. What comes up? Do you believe in yourself or not? Perhaps you started strong but are running out of steam. If so, go within and ask yourself how committed you are to your goals. Remember that it's okay to change your mind. Manifesting mix here says one of the current energies is all about feelings and the other is about head. Where are you? How do you meld the two? This is the way. So, manifesting mindset, why ruin a moment with words? Sometimes feelings are enough. It's good to talk, but it's also just good to be. So it says these crystals will help you as well for the sign of Pisces and coming into Pisces, which would be coming in at the end of this month too. So it says purple fluorite, labradorite, sodalite, amethyst, desert rose, selenite, or celestite. And it says just hold one and meditate, visualizing a luxurious golden light swirling all around you. Alternatively, you can keep your crystal close to you as you work through your situation and use 5 or 6 of them to make a grid. Your manifestation, I feel all my feelings and it feels good. For lots of you guys, and maybe this too, this is in our head because we keep thinking about it. Why are we stuck in our thought loops? Because we're conditioned to think one way, but we feel a whole other way. Same with if this resonated somebody, in your close circle or your family, this is, well, I love and care about you, but everything I do says otherwise. And yet, this could be gaslighting on this person's part as well, not wanting to take responsibility as well for their actions. So it's easier to make you feel like shit and doubt yourself than to own up. Because this person feels like that if they do that and they give that kind of stuff, they're giving up their personal power. My friends, that's important personal power too, is the power of growth and change and owning up to our own bullshit. Sometimes we can perpetuate it. This is the thing. We're all human. We're all spiritual beings on this human path. And if there weren't any mess ups in the world, where would there be lessons? So I feel like if you also might resonate as well, at times we can hold this kind of energy as well. And if we hold this kind of energy at times, catch yourself and be very aware of it and say, what do I do to change it? Because I certainly didn't like feeling like that or acting like that. So when to manifest? The best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Pisces on Thursday, which is Jupiter's day, or during Jupiter's hour. The last quarter moon in Pisces takes place when the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Pisces. It knows that there's a time and a place for conversation, but before you can even have these conversations, you have to know how you feel so you can bring this to the table and confront the issue. So that's the message I have. I truly hope it resonates. Remember to shine on, my friends, and under that was focus on the positive. Oh, under that, totally resonating. Release the blocks, right? Whatever it is that's blocking, let's work on releasing them. And in a week, we will come back and do a little cleansing ceremony and sending love and light. So look for that reading as well, my friends. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah. Have a great month. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.